According to iFixit, Apple made 2 changes to the new keyboards that are on its just announced spec-bumped MacBook Pros. The changes seem to amount to a new material underneath the keys on each switch cover, and a new dome switch that might be more resilient. Although it is much too early to say whether or not these changes will make a difference in improving the keyboard's reliability. What is clear right now, Apple is still just making tweaks to its design instead of overhauling it. The iFixit teardown was necessary to find out what Apple's design changes were because the company refused to actually explain them beyond telling reporters that they utilized a new material. So the teardown commenced, and the results are subtle enough that it required special scientific equipment and will take even more in the future to determine the differences. The first of iFixit's discoveries is that Apple is, in fact, using a new material inside the keyboard. There's a polymer over the actual keyboard switch that previously was a complex polymer and now appears to essentially plain old nylon. According to a FITR analysis, Apple began using a silicon membrane inside the keyboards last year. The company insisted that it was there to reduce noise, despite patents, filings, and service documents confirming that they were intended to protect against debris. This new material doesn't change the overall membrane, but instead this second kind of polymer that lies underneath it. The new material is clearer and smooth to the touch, according to iFixit. Though why the change might help is anybody's guess. Perhaps it's not better at allowing dust to get stuck under it? At this point, only Apple really knows for sure. The second change is even more mysterious. On Apple's butterfly keyboards, there is a metal dome switch underneath each key. It's the thing that makes electrical contact with the register a key press. Apple appears to have made minor changes to these switches in the new keyboard. iFixit says the difference in surface finish from the 2018 version to the 2019 indicates Apple may still be using a revised heat treatment or alloy, or possibly both. However, a full analysis of what's changed will require much more sophisticated equipment than iFixit currently has access to. Again, it's a question that Apple could answer at any time, but I bet they won't. What does seem clear, however, is that these metal switches are likely the culprits for many, though probably not all, of the keyboard failures people have been experiencing with. They're just tiny and delicate. They work by popping down and pushing back, like a really tiny jam lid or snapping cap, iFixit notes. It's not hard to imagine the world's tiniest snappable lid deforming under the kind of stress all laptop keyboards have to endure. So it makes sense that Apple would be iterating on this part and trying to make it as resilient as possible. Also ensures it's true that there's a limit on how effective that strategies could possibly be. As for what could be breaking those switches on current keyboards, theories run from dust to grit to metal fatigue. A very popular Reddit post from earlier this month lays out that the case for the latter. This is technically the 5th iteration of this keyboard design. Apple's butterfly keyboard have undergone several revisions since its first debut on the MacBook in 2015, but none have managed to fix the underlying reliability issues. The second generation came with the 2016 MacBook Pro, with a slight update in 2017 to redamp the noise. Problems persisted, and the 2018 MacBook came with the 3rd generation keyboard with the silicon membranes. Now in 2019, the 3rd generation has been tweaked with the new switch cover and switch materials. Sold in the past 4 years, as well as the new 2019 models, are now covered under this new repair program. And Apple has said repair times for keyboard issues have been shortened as well. It's up to you to decide whether the more comprehensive repair programs should be cause for relief or concern. It's impossible to know right now whether the new design detailed by iFixit will solve the reliability problems once and for all. What we can say for sure is that the fundamental design of the butterfly keyboard hasn't changed. That means that when one breaks, even if that happens more rarely now, it will still require an intensive repair. At the end of the day, Apple's butterfly keyboard has a much bigger flaw, one that this model's tweaks cannot fix. Too many people have simply lost faith in this design. Apple could theoretically combat the loss of trust with more candor, but it certainly hasn't been forthcoming thus far. Getting the company to even admit that there might be a problem has been a year-long process. When it comes to consumers' trust in Apple's butterfly keyboards, different materials won't make a material difference. Thank you so very much for watching the entire video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Not only that, if you'd like to see more videos like this, click somewhere on the screen right now, and I will appreciate it so very much. Alright now, goodbye.